This is one of the most beautiful things on my workbench. It's an Epiphone Dot. The camera really does not do it justice. It is absolutely a stunning guitar. It looks like maple head, but look at that binding, the perfect tonal range for the guitar. It's a semi-hollow, as you probably noticed, but look at that there. I just wish that the camera could show it to its fullest advantage. It's a two-tone, as you can see, Grover tuners, made by Epiphone, of course, because I called it an Epiphone Dot. It really is a thing of beauty. It just needs a setup. There was some concern, maybe the neck was twisted. I see a slight twist in it, but that would be a deliberate twist. What are you doing? When I'm talking, you're making an awful lot of noise in the background. You're biting away at that laser toy. Do you want the laser toy on? Right, let me switch it on. Right, there you go. Go and play with the laser toy now. Now she'll chase that around the room for ages. Right, back to what I was doing. It needs a good clean. It needs the strings replaced. The string height looks pretty good. Maybe could come down a little bit. And there is a big underbow on the neck, which I hope the truss rod will take out. I haven't tested the electrics yet, but I'll do that on the other camera. But really, if you ever get a chance to buy one of these things, don't worry too much about the pictures on the... I've just put the big main light out. Don't look at too much of the pictures, because some of the pictures there, that looks like a dull guitar, but this is a really rich looking guitar. Can't praise it enough. Except for Georgie Girl, this is probably the prettiest guitar I've had on my workbench. Okay, other camera coming up while I just do a quick setup on this and clean and change strings. Okay, let's go through the testing on this. Let's check the electrics first of all. And as you know, I like to switch on the electrics first so that I can hear how it goes in. Right. Silent. That's very nice. Very nice indeed. Right. Okay, I'm going to bring it up to tune. My old iPhone 4 here with a tuner inside it. I love this guitar. Beautiful, smooth tuners. Right, okay. Sound. Okay, so electric's fine. It is really just a setup. So let's get rid of the strings. Pull the plug. Right, okay. Let's get rid of the strings. See how nice I am? I'm detuning the guitar before I cut the strings. This guitar, it's just so lovely. I really do like it. Images don't do it justice. It feels rich. It feels quality. And I think you can buy this for about 300 or 400 quid. It's amazing. It's every bit, well, it's almost as nice as my Gretsch. But my Gretsch was twice or three times the price. But there's a beautiful guitar. It's got a little scratch there. Nothing I can do with it because the scratches got dirty. And there's got a little bit of an, I'll just show you that to see if you can see it. If it gets into focus properly, there's a little scratch somewhere there. Can you see it at all? Are you in focus? I hope you are. I spent most of the day today searching through to see if I could find a better camera. And what I almost bought, very almost bought, was an iPhone 13 Pro, but not the Max. It has the automatic focus that works instantly. The only thing that I want to know is the audio, because the audio in this is slightly harsh. This is a Canon D50. I know you, I know you, I know you, my daddy's girl, aren't you? Daddy's baby, aren't you? But you can't have it because your claws are sticking into me. Now, hey. That's going into the bin. That's why I'm wrapping it up. So no, you can't have it. So this is the iPhone 13 Pro, but not the Pro Max. And the only thing, as I say, that made me delay that was the audio. Is the microphone better than the 8 Plus, which I use? Because the 8 Plus microphone I didn't like much. It was perfectly fine, but not for what this is doing. Wish there was something I could do with this, that scratch, but it's the only thing on the whole guitar that sort of you can see. I'm going to try to clean it out and have a better look at it later, but it's such a light colored wood that no matter what you do, you're not going to get that scratch out, and I think I'd probably make more of a mess of it. Now I'm going to do the truss rod, because the truss rod does need to be tightened on this. If I do anything boring, I've decided in future when say for example when I'm polishing frets or scraping frets, the video gets too long if you let it run the whole way. But I tend to waffle, tell my stories during that. So I'm not going to tell any more stories when I do it. Any stories I have, I'll do during the interesting bits, or I'll pause deliberately. Well, I've got lots of stories. Gosh, lots of stories that would scare the hell out of you too. But I can't tell them because I live in a scary country. And that scariness isn't over. Whoa, that's so smooth, that truss rod. Look at that there. Oh, I think it was completely loosened off. Actually, there's nothing happening, but I actually think I can feel the neck moving. Not yet. So it must have been quite loosened off. There's no resistance. Why is there no resistance on the truss rod? Well, there's a little bit coming up now of resistance. Right, but still got that underbow. Right, it's as smooth as butter. Turning that Allen key, but that buttery smoothness is down to the quality of manufacture, because it has moved the neck to exactly where I want it. Love it, love it. Wasn't it, who was it, one of the Beatles? It was Paul played an Epiphone bass, or no, it was Paul played Honor bass. I think the Beatles played Epiphones, some of their guitars. I used to know all this. I used to know every single hit the Beatles ever made. We used to rush in on Thursday from work when we were younger to find out what Top of the Pops, because that's how we would find out who was number one. And it was always the Beatles had released a new single, and was it going to be number one this week? Was it going to wreck? Was everything going to change? Were the Beatles going to fall from grace? Every single release they made, straight to #1. That was amazing times. I wish other people could experience those times because they were magical. They were much different than what hard to describe. But the Beatles just sort of changed everything. They're a bunch of prats now, but that's another story. Right, okay. I'm going to work on this fret. I'm going to bring you a bit closer. The fretboard. There's nothing much I need to do except for raise it up a bit. Give me a bit more room. See, I've put an extension on my headrest. Let me feel the sides. Of course the sides are perfect. Right, what have I got? I've got 1500 and I'm just going to give the frets a polish. There's nothing I need to do. Okay. Now it comes to my favorite part. And there are people who say you don't need to oil the frets, blah blah blah. But I like to use lemon oil. This is the one I'm using at the moment. Let me just try and get into the center of the frame. Dunlop. I like it because it's got that little pad on the top. And I can squeeze it too. Now the thing that I really think is if you're going to do your fretboard like this every year, you need a lot less lemon oil than I'm putting on. If you put this on, say for example, extreme condition, say every 3 months you put this much oil on it, there's a tendency you could over oil the wood and cause it to swell or bulge or crack or something like that there. But as I know, this board hasn't been done ever before. I don't think ever before. I put a fairly large amount on to soak through. And I let it sit for a while. In this instance, because the neck's pretty good, I'm not going to let it sit that long. It smells gorgeous. It's my favorite job. But it certainly brings the wood up to scratch. The wood looks gorgeous afterwards. This looks like a very rich rosewood, if it is rosewood, because it's a very dark rosewood. Unless they've stained it, it's hard to tell. So that's it. I did a guitar earlier today. It was I still got it here. No, I don't have it. Can't remember the name, but the fretboard was absolutely so dry. I thought it was going to crack under my hands. So once a year, a slight rub of oil, and if you're going to do it once a year, you can just do it like that and don't let it stay on it. Just take it off on it almost right away and just leave a sheen on top. That's if you're doing it once a year. If you're going to do it once in a lifetime, shame on you. Shame on you. You can use, I like lemon oil because it's light. I have the boiled linseed oil and all that sort of thing, but it's thicker and it's, people swear by it. I like it. I like it. Nothing wrong with it. It's just as thicker and it's not as easy to work with. That's nice too. Right, okay. This is 3-ply soft toilet tissue. Quite high quality 3-ply soft toilet tissue. I'm just giving it a little clean all over on the board. So I'll pull that again. Right, okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to put the strings on. I have enough battery. I'll speed it up when I put the strings on because you don't want to see strings going on a guitar. You don't want to see strings going on a guitar, do you? The headpiece is real mother of pearl. The headstock centerpiece. Are you going to be in there? Are you going to get into focus there? Come on. Come on. Yeah, the middle piece is real mother of pearl. I don't know whether you can see it. but it's beautiful reflective on it, the reflections. Okay, so strings next. Yeah, I think it's flashing at me because when it comes up to this Canon 750 EOS, when it comes up to 2 gigabytes, it automatically splits the file in another file, so you'll never have a 10 gigabyte file, you'll have 5 2 gigabyte files. But I think that flashing is a warning to say we're just about to do that. Okay, that was a race against time because the red light is flashing like that. So I'll change the battery. New glasses on. Let's get this thing tuned up and then intonated, pickup height set, string height set, and off we go. Oh, switch on the amplifier. Right. Okay. Pickups. These are too high. They're almost touching the strings. On this, it's not necessary because the pickups are quite good. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Each to their own, though. You may not want to bring them down, but something's not right here. Okay, it is absolutely pouring down outside, so you'll probably hear the pitter patter of the rain on the roof. Listen to the rhythm of the pouring rain. Anyway, there was a problem with that, but it was just stiff screws. So I managed to get the pickups to the right height, and it's tuned now. Yeah, and it's a beautiful guitar, and it's going home. It's a lovely guitar. Nice action the whole way along it. Straightened the neck as you saw, but it's all going beautifully home, and it's a lovely guitar. Beautiful. Okay, say goodbye. Say goodbye.